We are back here on 3 Up, 3 Down with our Out of the Park Baseball 27 expansion franchise. And as you guys know, every team of the top teams in baseball are built through the draft. And that's what we have here in this episode, our first ever amateur draft with the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I'm also going to update you as to how we've been doing with the Gulls, what it's looking like. As well, we're likely going to make our way through our first trade deadline as well at the end of July and see if there's any moves to be made. So let's get into it. So as you can see, we are ready for our first draft. Going off our goals don't suck completely this year. Hey, 38 and 50 is not great, but it's not bad. We've already developed a top 20 prospect. Nelson Rada is already up to number 17. And our minor league system wants to get to top 6. They're currently calling us 8th out of 31. I believe we started off like 25 or something like that. As far as the team goes, it's been a struggle. Ryan Mountcastle's been very good for us. Logan O'Hoppe has been very good. Even Ernie Clement, but we've had a ton of injuries. The starting staff has been bad, to say the least. But the bullpen has saved us a fair number of times. So we aren't the worst team around. In fact, if you look at the American League, we are ahead of the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Angels. As far as our minor league system, checking it out here, we've got Okotoks. Our AAA team is 50 and 45. They've been doing all right. 42 and 47 AA with Lethbridge. Brooks at high A ball, 35 and 57. And then we're not even going to talk about our A ball team and our Energy City Cactus Rats in the rookie league. We just don't care about them this year at all. The draft, this first year player draft, is what this is all about. And we have the number 1 pick because we gave the Orlando Dreamers the number 1 pick in the expansion draft. So let's see how we can do. As for the Dreamers, they're actually 47 and 41. They did draft a fairly old, if I may say it, group of players. In fact, they drafted Justin Verlander in the expansion draft. Why? I don't know, but that's what they've done. So we're going to see what happens here. We've got a ton of money also to spend with this. A $13.5 billion slot for the first pick. We should be able to match that and see what happens. As far as the mock draft coming out here, yeah, I don't have the mock draft here anymore. We're going to forget about the mock drafts. Let's just get into it. So indeed, we have the number 1 overall selection. We're going to check out the draft pool here. And you can see actually here, the scouting recommendation is Grady Emerson. If you remember back a couple years ago, we actually took Grady Emerson in one of those drafts as well. He kind of panned out, kind of didn't. Remember last year's, we actually took Liam Peterson as part of that group. So we're maybe kind of leaning away from those 2 players just for that simple fact. If we look at the sortable list here, in terms of potentials, there are 2 guys. Those are the 2 guys with 80 potentials. Joseph Contreras is interesting. I think he can really develop. Everything seems to fit there. He's a high school pitcher. I'm a little scared of going high school here. I'm not going to lie. I like a college player. We've got some other high schoolers here. Jackson Flora is the other starter that's fairly highly ranked. I don't love the potential in terms of stuff and movement, but I do like the fact he's got a little bit better control and may develop as a college pitcher. 41 overall already would actually be a fast track as well. Of course, in the actual world, the number 1 kind of guy sitting unexpected in 2026 draft, where did he go? We have all our players. Is he hiding from me? And that, of course, is Roche Chalowski. I hope I'm saying that name right. This is kind of the guy who's expected to be the number 1 overall pick in 2026. UCLA product. He's got, looks like good potential of putting the ball in play and contact, definitely some power. The defense really stands out here. So I'm kind of leaning potentially taking Roche and seeing how this works out. College player, 37 overall, 62 potential. So we're kind of looking to see how that might work out as well. It would definitely be an easy sign for us at $9.5 million. So that's kind of the lean. I'm going to do a little look around here and see where we go from there. So I've decided to go with Roche Chalowski with the first overall pick and kind of fit what is expected at Major League Baseball. 37 overall, 62 potential in this simulation. We do need some shortstops in this system. We really don't have many, if any, true shortstops. I love the fact he can get to the major leagues fairly quickly and make our lives a lot easier and see if he can develop there. Maybe we can develop a little bit more pop in the bat. But I really like the defense. I like the speed of it. So Chalowski is going to be our first ever draft pick. So to see how it played out, Van Lackey, the catcher, went to Orlando in the second pick. Emerson went third to the Athletics. The Peterson, the starters fell quite a bit, actually. It was quite interesting. Liam Peterson went pick 11 to the Atlanta Braves. Flora went 13. So there's been quite a few players fall in this draft in terms of our high rank. So we'll see what we can get here in our second pick. So with our second round pick, I'm looking at a starter in Sean Duncan, a high schooler, 28 overall, 76 potential. I really like all these numbers here. The potentials for stuff, movement, home runs allowed, even control. Yes, the scouting accuracy might be very low, but the potential of 65 control is enormous. A fantastic changeup. I think this guy really plays not the most velocity, but I think a very good player as a starter. Someone we can also sign as well. So if we go back here to our draft central or draft sortable list, how do I get back to my sortable list? There we go. Let's see our starter that I like, Sean Duncan. He is going to be our second round pick. In the third round, another starter. We're going to go with a college arm this time, Aiden Knack, 36 overall, 64 potential. I like the potentials here. The changeup could really develop again. Control, again, average scout accuracy, but the potential for the control will be very high. I found in years past too many walks from too many guys. I think I want to stick to some starters who are going to be able to put the ball in the zone. So Aiden Knack is going to be our third round pick. Round 4, we're going to go another high potential shortstop, but this time a high schooler in Luis Hernandez, 26 overall, 61 potential. Look at these possibilities here, especially the ability to avoid strikeouts with some pop. We got some fairly high accuracies on there. Maybe a third base shortstop type, good speed, decent arm. I think this makes a lot of sense and fairly affordable to try and sign him for a fourth round player. So we're going to pick up Luis Hernandez in round 4. Round 5, we're going to go with catcher Sean Dunlap. I've been waiting, and my scouts have been recommending this guy for a little while. The eye looks solid. The pop is certainly there. It really comes down to the potential. If he can get to that 70 potential, that would be fantastic. I don't know if the defense is there as a catcher. He may turn into more of a first base type player, but I'm going to take a risk here with the I'm going to take a risk here with the 5th round. I forgot to go ahead to my turn around there, but I'm going to take Sean Dunlap in the 5th round here. It's fairly affordable to sign, so a little bit of a low-risk player here. So I like the bat potential, so we'll see what happens with him. Round 6, we are going the top-ranked Canadian in this pick, and that is Kai Fike, 34 overall, 50 potential. Just balanced across the board. We'll see if he can develop a 6th-round pick, see what happens here. Add Kai Fike in our draft log of a lot of starters. So I think that's really important. We need starting depth in this system. Another real balanced player and outfielder in round 7, Andrew Williamson. Looks to be, we got very good scouting accuracies on him, avoid some strikeouts, can really put the ball in play, maybe develop some power. Kind of an average guy across the board, can play all 3 outfields, so probably more of a corner outfielder. We'll see if he can develop for us in the future. How about a speed defense guy in center field, Nathaniel Davis? If he can develop any bit of a hit tool, he could be a very good player for us. We are going to pick him up, I believe we're in round 9. I lied to you, that was round 8. Now here in round 9, CJ Weinstein, just a player, balanced player, another shortstop to add to our stable. I think this is kind of, we need to add some shortstops to the system and add some talent and athletic ability. So we'll see if we can get him signed. He is indeed a high school player. Maybe very hard for us to get him signed, but hopefully we got some extra money to play here. One more starter we're going to add here in round 10. That's going to be Sean Finn. I'm not sure how much he's really going to develop here, but we are getting to round 10. It's going to be the last pick you guys are going to see on camera. We got another 10 rounds. I'll take you away my camera. The chances are we're not going to get anybody big that way, so we'll give you a chance to see our players and who we can get signed at the end of the draft. So we're going to negotiate with our draftees, our first 5 picks. Chalowski seems to be under his demand 9.5. His slot is 13.5. That fits very well. The big one is Sean Duncan to see if we can get him signed. The other guys are really undervalued there as well. So really Sean Duncan is going to be the tough one to see if we negotiate and set to demand offer, set to demand. We are trying, and we get Chalowski and Duncan signed here to start. And then we can really go after the other guys with the amount of money we have left, just to make sure we are getting our top 2 guys. The first time we did this, way back a couple of years ago, we did not sign our first overall pick. So that became a real problem in terms of that. So we really need the opportunity to build here. I'm going to go forward here. and get ourselves into the trade deadline. We'll see how we're doing at that time and show you guys around and hopefully see if we can make some picks. I also talked about trying to acquire 2 guys, Nathan Flewelling and Matt Wilkinson from the Rays and Guardians respectively, to try to add. They are guys that have actually played in the Western Canadian Baseball League. I've yet to be able to acquire them, so we're going to see maybe if we take another run at them at the trade deadline and try to pick these guys up without gutting our prospect system and trying to give up way too much. Seems to be really tough to make these deals. We have, although, hit the All-Star game. Bryce Miller is our All-Star. Why? I don't know. He was hurt to start the year. He does have a 115 ERA plus, though. He's only started 11 games. I'm not really sure why he makes the All-Star team for that. I had a couple of guys. Joey Loperfido was having a terrific year until he got hurt. I kind of thought he was going to be our All-Star, but there you have our All-Star there. As far as the prospect game, looking through, we have Wellington Herrera. He's a closer for he's at AAA right now with Okotoks. He's having a very good year. 22 saves, 2.72 ERA. Very nice there. And do we have any others? Nelson Rayada, our top prospect, our center fielder, who's having a very good year as well at Okotoks. 6 homers, 20 RBIs. He had a little cup of coffee when he had some injuries with us, the big league level, but those are going to be our 2 prospects in the prospects game. For the 3rd time this season, we have the player of the week. Joey Loperfido won it the first time. Logan O'Hoppe the second time. And this time, Ryan Mountcastle. So 3 times we've had the player of the week. We have officially reached the All-Star game. We have a record of 40 and 50. I think it's very, very solid. I think it's easily the best we've had of any of these expansion franchises. We're just going to continue to work our way through and see what we can do to add talent to this team. We have signed our 2nd-round pick, Sean Duncan. He's going to go to Energy City. He is not, I believe they are done their season or maybe a couple games left, but he is unlikely to play this year. That is okay. He is only 18 years old, college or high school player, so we'll let him start in rookie ball there next year, likely, for moving him up. Our number 1 overall pick, Roush Chalowski, has signed, and he is actually going to be moved all the way up to AA. That is where Farhan Zaidi, our assistant GM, has decided to place him. So we're going to roll with that and see how Chalowski can do to finish off this year in AA, maybe even make his way up to AAA. That means we can negotiate with the rest of our draft picks here. I believe we've got the money to do it and shouldn't be an issue at all if these guys sign. Another draft pick is signed, Aiden Knack. He's also just going to go to rookie ball and work things out there. We'll see what comes of that. No point wasting him away at A-ball where he's going to get torched with a terrible, terrible team, but we have another draft pick signed. And I believe this is our last draft pick. Our 5th rounder, Sean Dunlap, the catcher, has signed, the high schooler who will also start at rookie ball. We have got that all wrapped up. We are getting close to the trade deadline, very close to the trade deadline. Yes, about 4 days away, so the trades are going to start rolling in here very, very soon. We do have a proposal from the Toronto Blue Jays that we will take a look at here. They are looking for Eric Sabrowski, who's been really, really, really good in our bullpen, 2.27 ERA, and a catcher, Morales, that I know nothing about, who's had a terrible time of it. He's just a rookie league ball player we're not worried about. What are they offering us? Hechavarria. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I do not think we are going to be accepting this. A couple players that just don't seem like they're going to cut it. So we are not going to be accepting that. So we've officially reached the trade deadline time. We're going to get into this in a second and see if there's any moves that we can make. I'm going to shop some players, particularly probably Trevor McGill, our closer, and see if we can get anything for him. He's nearly 33 years old. The contract is good, but he's probably approaching a free agency for one more year left after this one, likely. I just don't want to get locked into a reliever that way. He's had a tremendous year, so we'll just get what we can. I think we can get a lot for him and opening up some positions there. Our bullpen has been very good. We're going to try and get some depth there. As you can see, Roush Chalowski is ranked number 9 in prospects. So we're moved our system all the way up to 3rd. So we're definitely meeting our goals in terms of development for our team. So that's a big, big piece. See if we can add a little bit to here with the trade deadline. So it looks like we're very, very close to a deal for catcher Nathan Flewelling, who we really, really, really want simply because he played for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. We're offering up Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez is 28 years old. He's serviceable for us, but has not had the best of years for a major league team. Clears that out a little bit, but well below league average. Not the best defender. So we're going to trade him out, open up some spot for some younger guys. Demetrio Crisantes is a no AAA guy who just really isn't developing that much. And basically, he's a second baseman, and we have a ton of second basemen, so we can move him on. And reliever Kyle Bloor that shouldn't be on a roster anyway. So we're going to complete that trade. So we have acquired Nathan Flewelling. We're also still working with Cleveland to try and get this done, but appears to be nowhere close with them. So we're going to keep working with them to see what we can do. So what do you guys think? How about Dylan Cruz on the Gulls? Yes, Dylan Cruz. Let's see if we can make this happen. They want Trevor McGill and throw in a prospect, Cam Fisher, who's a AA and doing AA things. I think this makes a lot of sense for us. Youngster Cruz is still like 24 years old. He opened up his spot right field by trading Jesus Sanchez. I think this makes a ton of sense for us. So we are bringing in Dylan Cruz to the Gulls. We keep trying for Matt Wilkinson. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. We're going to leave this to the offseason. Maybe we can get this done again. And we just don't seem to have the prospects that they really want. I've hit my limit of what I really want to offer here. So we're going to leave that one alone and see if we can add any others in shopping some players around here. Looks like we got one more deal in the works here. We've been shopping second baseman Tyler Fitzgerald, 28-year-old middle infielder who just can't hit, apparently, and we've got enough of those in our system. So looking at Texas, they're in win now. So Emiliano Teodo, I guess is the name. Starting pitcher, 43 overall, 55 potential. I love the strikeout ability. Look over here. The off-speed run value is elite. He has an elite slider, throws really hard. Maybe ends up more of a bullpen type guy, but has having a really good year at AAA. The walks, the control absolutely terrify me, but maybe he ends up being more of a bullpen guy. But for now, I think we let him develop and see. He's only 23 years old. 25 years old to fit in our system. I'd rather take a chance on 25-year-old starter than a 20-year-old second baseman that can't hit. So we're going to make this deal, and that will look to be our final deal of the trade deadline. Turns out we actually just didn't beat the bell on this. They wanted a little bit more, apparently. I would have completely and totally done that. I could have sent any of these guys out, but we missed out on this. Maybe we can move Fitzgerald in the offseason, come back this type of deal. But for now, we're going to miss out. Unfortunately, that's the way the deadline works sometimes. So we're going to put together a team here and see what it looks like heading into our last stretch of the season. So in terms of our roster, the rest of the season to finish this off, we're going to look at Harry Ford is going to catch and play some DH, and Logan O'Hoppe is also going to DH and catch. We've brought up another catcher just in case, and Rafael Flores Jr. He'll be the kind of the backup to the backup. We had Dylan Cruz, Ryan Mountcastle, Logan O'Hoppe, Dylan Beavers, Alex Freeland, Ernie Clement, Otto Lopez, and Denzel Clark. We have the password on the bench along with Javier Sanoa and Tyler Fitzgerald. As far as pitching, we're going to move Eric Sabrowski into our closer spot, a lefty closer. Dylan Ross and Gabe Spire are our setup men who've been doing very well. The rest of the bullpen is going to be questionable, especially our long relievers. We'll see what happens there. And in the starters, Ryan Weathers, Will Warren, Logan Henderson, Bryce Miller, and Mick Abel is back up. He was pitching a lot better at AAA. We're going to give him another shot in the majors. So there's how it looks like for the rest of the season for the Gulls. 45-58 record. We are now the second worst record in the American League. We're still ahead of the Angels, though, so hey, we'll see what happens there. We've got our number one pick there, Rock Chalowski, and our system is now third, so we're setting ourselves up very, very well, I think, that way. We will see what happens for our Gulls. So the next episode you guys will likely see will be in the offseason, see if we can make some deals, some free agent signings, potentially fill out this system and see if we can take the Gulls on the next step and see where we finish this season. Greatly appreciate all your guys' support. If you love this kind of content, make sure you like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care, everyone.